system of legislation and policy. Yeah. That has never been in doubt.
That's
and I can confirm, for example, as soon as we did our constitution, we even set up the Constitution Implementation Commission that did a very fine job in ensuring compliance of the constitution by enactment of all the laws that were needed. And by the time Nyachai was leaving, most of the laws were done there. Kenya has always been on the front line in coming up with legislation. The only difference has been action. The issue here is a question of, are we a country that really believes in the rule of law? Are we a country that has internalized and actually breathed life to these policies and the legislations you refer to? Martin Olo has just clearly elaborated how responsibilities are clearly shared, clearly demarcated, operational manual available, nothing new. So that in this case, look at the case that we are talking about for Ojwang, and that's why we are calling it, it may be that moment for us. There is no question as to who is supposed to do what. If you look at statements that have been issued so far so good, everyone has mentioned who does what. For example, IPOA to take charge by being the entity in charge of oversighting the conduct of the police officers. That is given. Investigation, it is known as a matter of fact, it is the role of DCI. So the issue is not about the legislation. The issue is, have we had the consistency? Have we had the commitment? Have we had the reason and the basis to follow through? And most of the time, as rightfully says, how many convictions have we got in such cases? Very rare. And the one for Willie Kimani stood out simply because a member of Law Society of Kenya, and in this case, the lawyers and the LSK took it upon themselves to personally follow through its prosecution to the end, and it took quite some time. Look at the cases, if you were to refer to cases before, remember Baby Pendo, still back and forth in court. How many years since 2017? That is almost 8 years. So at the end of the day, the legislations are there, the policies are there, but effecting now calls for a political will. When I saw the president's statement, I almost felt that it is a time then the police service should just pick up on that and then say, going forward, when it comes to our operations, when it comes to actions, the idea of call from the above has to come to an end. How we are going to prosecute this case of Ojwang then will bring a bit of caution and awareness even to the level, as they say, even to the level of OCS. They know that at the end of the day, the buck stops with the person. So that when you talk about these abductions, when you talk about the arrests, do we really follow through? Are we keen? Because I may even throw in my wild opinion that this is a senior officer. The complainant is a senior officer, is a DIG. And in this case, junior officers are called by Mkubwa. They'll be very excited. Who wouldn't want promotion, for example? Who wouldn't want to prove that they have done their work? Fact. So based on that, they would quickly act, and then things go haywire. What happens in this case? The buck stops with whoever acted. So at this case, what I think, this offers an opportunity. And that's why for me, my main body that can benefit from this is IPOA. IPOA has been crying out for support. And I'm happy Owino has detailed. At the end of the day, if you look at the work of IPOA, it is still pegged by the efficiency of the police service. If it is investigation, they will rely on DCI. For me, Isaac Hassan has been given more or less like something on a silver platter. It is their best chance to be able to break out and be able to effectively. How they handle this will firmly set them on a path of having the respect and ability to act. Number two,
will be the make or break
DPP.
Of IPOA.
Yes, DPP. DPP also is coming into question. No one has spoken about them. But as soon as the investigations are there and the recommendations are there for charges, the person who approved the charges must and will always be the DPP. Now, they will be in question here. How do they act? How swiftly? As my teacher has said, we don't need time. Every facts and happenings are being spread out, are already on the table. It's a question of action. So for the legislations you are referring to as to how to action them, my prayer, this particular matter, be that Eureka moment where we can start from start to finish. And we need to credit the fact that at the moment, what is making the difference is the level of awareness. In fact, if you read the story, what happened, the first protesters who went to Central Police Station, the officers there were telling them, nini munaeka kwa social media. That was their first concern. What is this you're putting on social media? And the moment the thing went wild, I'm sure for them, how many of such cases have happened without being reported? So the awareness and the social media space that exists at the moment is creating an avenue whereby it is a natural check and balance and a pressure system that makes it then possible for the institutions to work. So I really feel this is our moment that we can be able to execute for.
Allow me just to take a short break. Then